Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for December 9th through the 15th, 2019. So let's take a moment and take a deep breath. And just breathe in to your heart center. Breathe into the unconditional love and the source of all life. And see within the center of this flame what looks like a nest with an egg. And it's flowering open. And there's a sense that you're giving birth to life, to a new aspect of your life. There also may be, this may be a sign for someone who is seeking to become a parent. As I could see a baby when it unfolded very, very clearly, actually. Usually I don't see it that clearly. And it feels more symbolic in that regard. But for some of you, this may be very literal. But there is something that in general that is, your soul is either being reborn in some way or renewed, or is forming a clear vision of your deepest desire, and that deepest desire is unfolding and blossoming into a reality. And so they want you to let go of your fear. And they want you to give your fears away, surrender them to your soul flame. And notice that that soul flame does not consume any of your dreams or your goals, but it actually creates a firewall around that which you desire. Now they keep writing the word equality. And so you can understand in one way that all of your desires are, what's the word? They are watched over and they are nurtured to life equally throughout the universe. Each and every one of us gets the same intense support. And the desire for what you want to be is equal to that which you feel and what you want. So the universe is not, if anything, they would want it more, or they would have more faith. But they want you to know that that the universe is equal. It's full of equality in what it brings forth and how it brings it forth, and the support and the love to help you to bring it forth, so that you would not look in your world and say that some get better than you, and you may think that about God. That, maybe there's something that you've done or haven't done, or something that someone else has done or hasn't done that gives them more than you from the perspective of the universe's support and love. The laws of attraction are laws of equality. They act, it's sort of almost that you have to understand that whatever anyone is creating, whether it be misery or love or opportunity, it's all the same functions of the laws working precisely and accurately and equally in how it's developing that. You know, the attention that you, or the attention you give to, whether it's something, attention to something not wanted or something you do want, is equal. If you could, we could imagine it like as a ray of light shining on something, that is equal. Because your light, the light of your inner being, that soul flame, does not shine less or more. It just is. And whatever you put your attention towards, it gets the same vibrant light that all things in the universe receive. Even the light of the Creator is equal to yours. The difference would be that in our physical awareness, we do not spend an equal amount of time or give an equal amount of attention to the resources of our soul flame, the power of our soul flame. So we are often distracted and out of alignment with it. And so therefore we do, in this human reality, seem weaker to the strength and love and power of God or the universe. But within you, that soul flame is equal. It's oneness. It's a part of oneness, if that makes any sense. And so what you've been asked to do is to keep this in mind so that when things distract you and when you feel out of alignment and you feel powerless as a result or miserable, know that when you join in an opportunity where you give yourself the gift of your soul flame, that you step into an embrace of equality, and you have the power within you to clarify, to support, to nurture your dreams in the same flow of ease and freedom and prosperity that everyone has access to when they choose to be one with this love. But part of our journey is that there are going to be challenges to that focus, as it also serves in helping us to create anew and to reinvent ourselves and to tap into new potential. So don't fight against this process, but just gently remind yourself of who you really are and bring yourself back to the awareness of that equality so that you don't continue to look around and pay attention to the inequality from the perspective of your relationship with the universe. I'm not talking about the inequalities that we create amongst ourselves, but the inequality that we begin to attribute to our relationship with the universe because of the inequalities that we create amongst ourselves as human beings. We don't want to give away our power to a lesser influence, but rather surrender our power to the greatest influence. And that great influence is, at that level, every influence is great, because every influence is a part of what we think of as the greatest or the great influence / God or the universe. All right. So let's take a look at the Archangel Oracle card for this week. And I'm just seeing a window and a very broad tree. So this is wonderful because the window tells me that we have some opportunities coming this week, and that this tree trunk is so wide, which means that they're going to be coming through this connection that we've just been speaking about, and that your connection is really grounded. I can just feel or see the roots just stretching out so wide and so deep. I can feel they're enormous, the roots of this tree, as the branches are always. And so there is a tremendous amount of flow in terms of information, ideas and signs, anything to help you to be aware of your alignment. And there is variety. Something I get a sense that some of you are looking for and that you're exploring. And in that exploration, you are moving forward, or moving maybe literally moving in other directions, moving in other directions, and moving, like as in relocating or changing your circumstances, as in a career, or making changes to improve your finances, etc. But of course, all of this creates a vulnerability, right? You feel exposed. You feel naked, because this symbolizes that change. It's like it strips us of all the attachments, all the possessions, and it gets down to our truth, our authentic self. And we're not used to wearing our birthday suit out in public. We're not used to being authentic. That's our real attire, is authenticity. And believe it or not, that's the place where you truly will know what it's like to feel safe. Until we are able to wear this attire of authenticity, it is not until that moment that we allow that to be, that is the moment we will know what it feels like to truly be safe, to really be comfortable in your own skin. Because once you are able to express this extraordinary value to us in the universe, it's an extraordinary value to God, because it allows, and this is what they're just saying, because it allows you, your God potential, to no longer be restrained within this world. Every gesture, every aspect of your fate, and these are words they're writing, becomes a bond of trust, like a display of trust, of your God potential. And this is the opportunity that you will be channeling this week. This is the opportunity. This is the opportunity they want you to grow, to indulge yourself within. To indulge yourself in your heart. And they show me a physical heart. And so I get a sense that your health will improve immensely once you're no longer in a state of resistance, because everything that you put on, all the things that you put on, the facade, that takes work. To force yourself into that wardrobe, it takes work. And it puts a lot of strain on your physical heart as well as your spiritual heart, which is the representative of that within the physical reality. And it downgrades your health. And one of the consequences is the exhaustion and the stress and anxiety in particular. And the metabolism slowing down is what they're giving me a sense of. They keep sort of making references to, weight gain. And some of you are very sensitive souls, and you know who you are, but you're very aware, or you have this suspicion that other people won't be able to accept you. And what you're actually picking up on is not personal. It's personal for them, because you represent the thing that they are avoiding, which is to hear their soul call out to them. And the soul right now is sending out a clarion call to every soul on the planet to strip themselves of this attire, this pressure of this attire that limits who they can, their God potential, and allowing that God potential to enact itself and express itself through every design and plan and desire and dream that you have. All right? So let's take a look and see. Okay, this makes sense, right? Your soul just is ready to spread its wings. You're ready to grow your own wings. You've been hiding your angel wings, because it's not popular. And you have messages in your soul. We are all messengers of God in a way. We're earth angels, and we have messages. We have a purpose to fulfill, a desire. But we keep saying we don't know what that is because we've practiced so much denying what it is, because being yourself wasn't popular. And so part of this spreading your wings is shedding those layers. And this is Archangel Ariel right now, and she's saying, do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect, and you are ready to soar. So there are some ideas, there are some plans that feel really strong. You feel strongly about it. Like you're determined, or they won't, every day you're just like, this is something I really need to start doing, or I got to do this. But then things keep getting in your way and you don't get to it. Right. And so, and it just becomes another reason, excuses, to not finish or to begin. And you're looking for some kind of feedback and you're looking for results, right? But the results won't come and the feedback won't come until you step out onto the runway of your life and of this opportunity, of this idea. When you're ready to take action, you'll discover the ease, the peace that is available to you, the peace that comes when you act upon what is burning inside of you to be let go of, to release. The anxiety and stress that we feel is because we're holding back an intense amount of power, equality, that we just don't allow. So a lot of the injustice that you're perceiving in the world is first coming because of the great injustice we all do to ourselves by holding back and being who we truly are. And of course, in our human relationships, there is going to be this display because it is the law of attraction is amplifying the injustice that we first perpetrate upon ourselves by not honoring who we are. We really need to be the fool, blissfully ignorant of what other people think about who we are. And if we could be like the fool, blissfully ignorant of what other people think and have no care, just carefree, we would see less injustice reflected in the world for us to stab our own selves in the back with, to sabotage ourselves. They say the only relationship you're having is the relationship you're having with yourself. And we can, look around the world and what's going on today, and we can start placing blame. And I'm not saying we shouldn't do anything, of course not. But I'm saying that we have to start at home first in our perspective, because we can do things to literally, and people are doing things that can help make a difference, even if it's a tiny one. But when you hold injustice inside of you instead of becoming justice, and you can become justice truly when you feel this equality within, that the universe loves you and it nurtures your every desire and goal that you have and is working equally in partnership with you to make it happen. Therefore, there's nothing that can really stand in your way as long as you keep your focus there. And the way to keep your focus there is to not be afraid to be who you are. Because when you're afraid to be who you are, when it's time to confront injustice, you will recoil because there's something that you want to hide. There's something you want to preserve, or you want to save face in some way. And so then that injustice just becomes a part of you, and you end up sacrificing justice for your own selfish reasons. And I'm not saying that in a judgmental way, because there's none of us who do not deal with this. But we talk about it here in a loving space so that we can learn and do less of that over time, and something we can add into our practice. All right. So let's take a look and see what messages are coming up in the cards for the week. And this is the King of Swords. Now, we were just talking about all that justice and fairness and equality. And, this is a person who's impartial. He doesn't let his emotions and his, he keeps his emotions and reason, I guess, lack of a better word, in check. There's a check and balance between these two sides of himself. And, this is someone where everyone comes to who looks up to offer an equal, a balanced perspective. So when you feel like you've lost perspective, you may look up to someone that who will always give it to you straight and who will not judge you for what you believe or what you think, but they'll help you to put it in a context that fits into the reality of the path that you're trying to, the goal you're trying to achieve. And so right now it takes a little bit of this. This is either this something that you need to do for yourself right now, that you need to, you're either being too rational or too emotional, and you're impeding your growth or your potential. You're not able to move forward or take any kind of action, and because things are out of balance, and so that you may need to just step away from it all for a moment. It's like how he's high up in the mountains where everything just looks different. And maybe you need to step away and so that you come back to this situation so that you can in time see some things. I get a sense of, if you felt like you've lost touch, then it's almost like go back out into the field, so to speak. Go back to your humble beginnings and just retrace the process for yourself. And the right energy, like that, you may get energized from this this encounter, of just sort of reconnecting. All right, so let's see how this continues to unfold for us. Okay. So this is the Strength card. And the message here is, and so beautifully displayed, is, honoring both sides of yourself. I mean, you're spiritual and you are human, and as humans, we seek pleasure. And our spiritual side seeks pleasure in our enjoyment, our happiness. So don't feel that your spiritual side and your human side are in conflict with each other. They are in absolute support of both experiences, and for you to have them, and for you to be at peace for however that comes about within you. To be at peace with that. To stop struggling, stop fighting with who you are, how you express yourself, how you connect, or what gives you pleasure. So don't restrain your love of pleasure because that restricts your spiritual joy when you cannot express yourself through whatever it is, the human aspect of you that sort of sensations of desire and pleasure through you, and that makes you even more curious to explore and to have adventure. It's a thing of stop fighting these two sides of yourself is kind of what I'm getting from this card. And it's interesting because Archangel Ariel means the lioness of God, and so we see this lion here. And this card definitely would be Archangel Ariel if this was an angel oracle tarot deck. So far we have being impartial, being more balanced and open-minded, not rushing to judgment very quickly. All right. So we're just this is a week of decisions. What should I do? Should I, how do I be myself? How can I be myself? How can I enjoy what I love and then also be true to my heart, as if they're two separate planets or something. This is not how you are formed. This is not how you are formed. This is not what you were made for, is to see yourself as a contradiction. This kind of perspective is only coming from you seeing yourself through other people's eyes. And this is the tension, the stress, the anxiety that we're feeling. Like all three of these cards is together just compound this that we cannot continue to live this way. And that why you're so tied up right now and tangled up is because you've been practicing being someone that you're not. You've been practicing being what everybody else wants you to be, or what's acceptable in your society. And you've been denying your own pleasure, and therefore creating a deficit in the sense of abundance and joy and equality, that the universe supports you no matter what. Because that's what we're talking about here. The universe supports you no matter what. The universe isn't, just because things don't turn out well for you, doesn't mean that that's the universe's judgment on you. The universe supports everything equally. What you're seeing is the powerful manifestation of your negative beliefs. But it's still power, just channeled in a way that you don't align with. But it's powerful. And so that's why this whole struggle, which way, what should I do, who should I be, which road, which path, that whole thing is creating more of that for you. Because if you're feeling like this is you most of the time, the only way to get out of this is to release those questions, to stop asking questions. You've heard me say this before, and it is true. Like, the more questions you ask, I don't understand. Why is everything happening to me this way? Why can't I? Oh, why? What? How? The universe, and inside your heart is struggling. See? Your heart's struggling because your heart's just swinging in there, and it's recording all of this, and it becomes, and it's it's right in that area where your heart chakra is, and your heart chakra is taking in all of this information. And I've been talking to some people this week who've been in this kind of position, and I could feel the tense pain, and I wanted to just get out, like stop talking to them and get away from, because it's just so intense. But I understood that what they were doing to themselves, and I had to be like, okay, you need to snap out of this. You got to stop doing this, because this is just powerfully creating such injustice for your life experience. And to let that go. Don't take things personally, because it's never about you. No one knows you that well. Most people don't care because they're so self-involved in what's going on with them, like what's going on with you in this moment. So it's not like they don't care. It's just that they don't have time or room to care, because their heart is not filled with the love for themselves. They're experiencing so much misery because of the judgment and self-criticism that they can't even focus on caring for themselves, no less you. And when we try to, we just feel split and torn about it, because we get all these like, what the hell should I be caring about you? Or why are you whining? Like, my life is blah, 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 blah. You're better off than me. This kind of thing happens because we are doing things that are not in balance. We have to take care of ourselves. So we should respect anyone that is caring for themselves. And we shouldn't be upset that they don't prioritize us over themselves, because that's the most healthiest thing that could ever happen. And you should not want to be in a relationship with anyone like that, who practices that, and especially because you ask them to. You may not realize that's what you're doing, but that is what you're doing. And that's why you're miserable and they are miserable, because you're both asking the impossible and the incorrect. All right, let's take a look at the card I pulled from the bottom of the deck. And it's the Ace of Wands. And this just brings us back to that place. I feel like we can breathe, right? Because it brings us back to that place of desire, giving, creating that creativity, going back to that place of creating what you want by focusing on what you want and focusing on it until there is some kind of combustion where out of it comes more, where an opportunity grows out of that. So like a stem grows up a seed, and it grows up and then it stems up, and then it blossoms into what it is. But going back there to that energy, starting there, this is where we need to start. So in all of this other imbalance and confusion and fighting ourselves and fighting with everybody else and trying to please everybody, go back and be who you are. Go back to yourself. Go back. What do you want? What makes you happy? Feel that whatever it is that you focus upon, don't ask yourself if God is okay with this. Focus on what you want, and if it feels really good to you, like I'm saying, inspired, because these are the things that are the language of God. When you feel inspired, when you feel empowered by your desire, uplifted, convicted by your desire, then in that moment you know that you are in alignment with your spiritual truth. When you get the tinglies all over, that's the angels embracing you, adding their support to your own desire. They're adding their own fire, their spiritual flame to yours, creating an intense vibration, a point of attraction that allows for flow and ease. But when the signs come, then you fear, they say. You kill it with your fear. You kill it with your criticism. You chip away at it, better said. You can't kill anything, but you start chipping away and you disconnect yourself. And then you go back to feeling like this and torn, and guilt and so on and so on. So don't do this to yourself. This is the time to spread your wings, Archangel Ariel said. You're ready. And you won't know the peace that you deserve until you take a step, until you cross over that threshold. As long as you stand at the threshold and just keep hesitating, your anxiety will build up inside of you. The energy will build up inside of you, in which you then interpret through your senses and neurons and all that stuff. And your brain gets involved and says, that's negative. And then it says, something bad's going to happen. And then you get anxiety and you start worrying and you start thinking more and more. And then your intention becomes, I'm going to fail, etc. And so that when you do step, that you step into a world where your senses are looking for the axe to fall, rather than responding to the inspiration where you feel trust and where you feel safe because you're being yourself. So the seraphims are coming through. And this is a very high level, and I'm trying to see what their message is to us. And Archangel Sandalphone as well. So just know that they're going to help bring in a very high frequency of love, of unconditional love. And just take a moment to close your eyes and ask them to come to you now. And they're going to help you with, helping inspire you with epiphanies is what they're writing out. So pay attention to the epiphanies that come to you. And they're going to help amplify your guardian angel's message to you, so that and they're going to add to the security and safety, the feeling of safety that your guardian angels help you to feel when they're around you. And Archangel Michael is coming through as well. And just breathe and allow him to just cut any cords, or especially to someone. Maybe, I don't know, I just saw the word Stephen, and this person may be younger. But they wrote the word equal in faith. So, don't judge the book by its cover. Okay? All right, they're saying finishing. All right, so this is they're showing me the phallic symbol. So this is going to be a powerful week of manifestation. Action more so. That you're going to get these signs of act that will inspire you to take action. Don't wait for them and don't question them when they come. Just, the universe is subtle. So if you don't sit around waiting for some big boom thing, because it usually is very subtle and understated, but consistent and persistent. Okay? So I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and thank you for joining us this week. And if you're looking for an angel reading, feel free to contact me at theangelschool.com. On the services page, you can find that link below the video in the description box, as well as join us for the daily card messages on Facebook. And I think since it's the holiday season, and people are probably going to be running here and there, we'll look to do the next live chat in January. So, if there's a particular topic, start put it in your bid for which topic you would like to focus on, and make sure you kind of write live chat in the comments below, and then like the topic, and then once I see which ones come up the most, and then we'll pick one this time, see how that kind of goes, and I'll post it, and we can kind of vote on it and go from there. All right. So I send you lots of love, everyone. Have a good week.